Having now trialed profit-taking model, my dilemma is when to set the start date. I feel that once I set it for my goals, I must not be greedy and change it. I note you suggest taking a screenshot once you start exactly. So I'm going to break down step by step how you scientifically set up your profit-taking for Bitcoin with two different scenarios. So first of all, we'll go through this pretty quick. Step one is you pick your trading style, which is based on your targets, risk tolerance, etc. So for example, with Bitcoin, you'd pick very aggressive or maybe aggressive if you're not too aggressive. But of course, it's a very volatile asset. And from this stage, I think we can go with very aggressive. And I'll show you two different scenarios in a minute. Step two is you set your exit aggression, low, medium, or high. That is how much you want to take off the table. With assets like Bitcoin, I believe you should still hodl some, never sell all of it, always keep some. And this will help determine that ratio for you as well. And I'll show you with some exact numbers. Step three is you set your optimization fit. That can be loose, very tight, tight. You can play with that if you want. I just go with neutral. Neutral's already optimized for me. But if you want to get really sophisticated, you can play with that. And then step four, the final step, is you set your layers. Again, these are also, the defaults are optimized, but you want to pick how many layers you want. Do you want to go with layer 6 through 10, or layer 5 through 10, or layer 3 through 8? You can pick exactly what you want when you want it. So let's look at two examples. First of all, we'll go with this first. Imagine you have a crazy $200,000 target. I'm not saying Bitcoin will go. My plan is hopefully, if we're very lucky and everything goes right, we get to 120,000. And if things get really tight, we could go higher. But conservatively, 200,000, some people are talking 200, 250. I just threw this in here for giggles. So you set your 200K target by dialing in the platform. You choose exactly what type of step one setting you want, how aggressive you want to be, and what type of recent trend you look at. And that will find out your target. And you can very easily dial it in based on how close you are to the 200-day moving average and your start date. So I basically dialed it here to 200K as level 10. That is the top target. And then I set a very aggressive exit and just 5 exit layers, layer 6 through 10. And here you can see what they are. Layer 10, if we were to get there, would be the 200K level, then 174, 134, 93, and 68.8. Now, the amount that you sell at these levels, the percentage sold, is you sell 6.8% at layer 6, 4.7% at layer 7, and then layer 8, 35.7%, layer 9, 29.5%, and then layer 10, 23.8%. Now, let's go look at another example, which is kind of more where I believe we could go. So layer 10 now, I have low aggression exit. I dialed in the 120K target by just pulling the anchor, and I put in 6 layers instead of 5 in the previous example. And here you end up, oh, I forgot to mention how much you end up keeping here. Here you end up keeping, under this scenario, and it assumes you have 1 Bitcoin, you end up keeping 30.7% of your one whole coin, but you took $100,000 profit off the table. And your value held now, if we get to this top level, is $61,000. So think of it that way. You can very also easily calculate your opportunity cost of taking profit, which is always surprisingly low. This scenario, 120,000 Bitcoin, low aggression exit, 6 layers. Here you end up keeping 0.34 Bitcoin, but you took $53,000 in profit off the table, and your value held is 41K. And the assumption for me is my cost basis of Bitcoin is $15,000. So that's basically how you do it. And again, take a snapshot of these layers, the prices, and have your plan. Go into TradingView. You can set your targets. A little alarm bell will go off when you hit these levels, and then you can follow it up with a trailing stop if you want for the percentage of your bag you want to sell. And that's how you do it scientifically. It's not hard. But the thought behind this machinery was extremely difficult not to crack. So big thank you to the data team behind me to make it happen.